Have you ever looked at a mountain range and just seen rock and snow? What if I told you that in some parts of the world, those very mountains are considered one of the most formidable strategic assets a nation or group could possess? Today, we're diving deep into the rugged landscapes of places like Afghanistan and Yemen to understand why these seemingly empty terrains have posed such immense challenges for some of the world's most advanced militaries. It's a fascinating story of geography, history, and human resilience. Let's start with the basics of mountain warfare. Imagine trying to navigate a maze, but this maze is thousands of feet high, with unpredictable weather, limited oxygen, and countless places for someone to hide. That's the reality. For an occupying or invading force, the challenges are monumental. Firstly, logistics. Getting supplies, equipment, and personnel into these areas is a nightmare. Roads are often narrow, treacherous, or non-existent, making convoys easy targets. Helicopters are a good alternative, right? Well, they're loud, vulnerable to ground fire from hidden positions, and the thin air at high altitudes reduces their lift capacity. Every gallon of fuel, every box of food, every single soldier has to be moved with incredible difficulty and at great risk. Now, flip the coin. For local fighters, these mountains are home. They've grown up in this environment. They know the secret paths, the hidden caves, and the best vantage points. They can move quickly and quietly, often on foot, without the need for a heavy logistical tail. This is what's known as home field advantage, but amplified 1,000 times. They can use the terrain to their absolute benefit, setting up ambushes in narrow passes where the enemy is forced into a bottleneck. They can disappear into a network of caves and tunnels that have been used for generations, making them almost impossible to track. Advanced surveillance technology, like drones and satellites, struggles to be effective when people can simply vanish into the rock itself. Think about Afghanistan, often called the graveyard of empires, from Alexander the Great to the Soviet Union and more recently, the United States and its allies. Powerful armies have found themselves bogged down in its mountains. The Hindu Kush mountain range is a formidable barrier. The local fighters, be it the Mujahideen in the 1980s or the Taliban more recently, mastered the art of guerrilla warfare here. They didn't need to win conventional battles. They just needed to outlast their opponents. By using hit-and-run tactics, i.e. on mountain roads, and exploiting their intimate knowledge of the terrain, they made the cost of occupation in both lives and resources unsustainably high for their adversaries. The mountains provided them with a natural fortress. The same principle applies to the mountainous regions of Yemen. The rugged terrain in the northern parts of the country has been a key factor in the ongoing conflict. Groups like the Houthis have proven exceptionally difficult to dislodge from their mountain strongholds. They use the high ground to their advantage, setting up firing positions that overlook key valleys and roads. They can launch attacks and then melt back into the landscape, making conventional military responses incredibly difficult. For outside powers, like the coalition forces, who are used to operating in more open environments, this type of warfare is frustrating and costly. Every advance is a hard-fought struggle against both the enemy and the environment itself. So, when we talk about slopes and peaks becoming weapons, it's not a literal transformation. It's about how this terrain fundamentally changes the rules of engagement. A simple cave becomes an impregnable bunker, a narrow pass becomes a deadly kill zone. A steep slope becomes an insurmountable obstacle for heavy armor. The mountain itself becomes a combat multiplier for the defenders. It drains the resources, morale, and political will of the attacking force. An advanced military's technological superiority, things like tanks, heavy artillery, and large troop formations are often neutralized by the landscape. It forces a return to the most basic form of combat, soldier versus soldier, and in this arena, the local fighter with knowledge of the land has a significant edge. Another crucial aspect is the psychological impact. For soldiers operating in these mountains, there's a constant sense of being watched. The enemy could be anywhere, behind any rock, on any ridge. This creates immense stress and fatigue. The isolation of mountain outposts, the constant threat of ambush, and the sheer physical difficulty of the environment take a heavy toll. Conversely, for the local fighters, the mountains offer a sense of security and sanctuary. They are a symbol of their independence and their ability to resist. This psychological advantage is just as important as any tactical one. It fuels their determination to continue the fight, often for years or even decades. Historically, this isn't a new phenomenon. We've seen it throughout history. The Swiss used their alpine terrain to defend their independence for centuries. Guerrilla fighters in various parts of the world, from the Balkans to Latin America, have used mountains as their base of operations. What makes the cases of Afghanistan and Yemen so notable in the modern era is how they've challenged the doctrine of technologically advanced, 21st century warfare. It's a powerful reminder that despite all our advancements, geography still plays a decisive role in human conflict. The raw, untamable power of nature, when harnessed by determined people, can be more formidable than the most sophisticated weaponry. So, the next time you see a picture of these majestic mountain ranges, remember that they're more than just beautiful scenery. They are natural fortresses that have shaped history, humbled empires, and proven time and again that in a contest of wills, the home field advantage can be the ultimate deciding factor. It's a testament to human ingenuity and the enduring power of the land we inhabit. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration today. If you found this topic interesting, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Stay curious, and see you next time.